Hello friends and welcome back today for a brand new video. We have a new collection from Colourpop and you guys, this is a big collection. This is the Wish You Were Here collection. They have eyeshadow palettes, blushes, highlighters, lipsticks, lip masks, lots to get to in today's video. So without dragging on, let's go ahead now and get started. So this is a brand new launch from Colourpop and I was excited to see them come out with like a full new collection. Colourpop lately has been really revamping their like core products. Like they have redone their lipsticks now. They've got new contour sticks. I feel like they did a new blush line. So they're really just revamping like their core products. And we haven't really gotten like full collections in a minute. So this is the first like full collection I feel like they've done in a second. This is going to be available on Colourpop's website as well as Target. So if you are someone who shops at Target, you can get this collection there as well. So there are 3 different eyeshadow palettes. So it's quite a large collection. So this is the first one. This one is called Weekend Mood. And here is a look at that one right there. It does have a pressed glitter in there, which I could do with or without, but it does look pretty. I like the tones of it. So that one's like more of like your warm palette. And then we have this one, which this one has me real excited. So this is called The Feels. And this kind of gives me a little bit of like the Baby Yoda vibes with that green color. I just love when Colourpop does greens. They do them so well. So we have that palette there. Again, it has some warms, but a little bit more of like some cooler tones with those browns in there. And then the last one really has some cool tones in here. And this one is called the Daydreaming palette. And this one reminds me of like the purple palette that they have. I think it's called Lilac You a Lot, maybe. It kind of reminds me of that one. So you have some cuter purple tones in there and then some more neutral cool tones as well. So all 3 of these are really pretty. Of course, they have the clear packaging. So everything with Target has the clear packaging. So those are the 3 palettes. There are also some highlighters as well as some blushes a part of this. So next up in the collection, there are 4 highlighters. So altogether, these are going to have the clear packaging and they are pressed. So we have this shade right here, which is Spotlight. This one looks the prettiest to me. It has like a pearly pink look to it, and I love pinky highlights. The next one we have here is called Gold Mine. This one is like a true white gold. And then we also have a little bit more of a deeper option. This one here is called Moon Dust. And then the very last one for the highlights, this one is called Vanilla Bean. So it's going to be more of that white, icy look of a highlight. So I'll swatch all of these in just a second for you. Let me show you the blushes. So there are quite a few blushes that are a little bit more on like the coppery side. They definitely have some shimmer to them. It looks like maybe satin, more of a satin look to them. But this one here is called the Morning Vibe shade. This next one is called Dancing Queens. This one has more of like a orangish copper look to it. And then we have 2 additional shades. This one here is called Cosmopolitan. The very last shade for the blushes is the shade Wish Me Luck. So we have that there. And let me actually look. I'm going to pull up Colourpop's post and see the formula on those because I know that they look like they're satin, but I can't quite tell. Let me see here. It doesn't say on their post and they're not available yet on the website, although they will be by the time you guys are seeing this video, so I'm not exactly sure. We'll see when we swatch them, but it does say that the highlights do have a new pearly look to them, so they are, it sounds like a new formula, so excited to give those a try. And then there are also a couple of other products. So we have Fourth Ray, we have a lip mask as well as a lip scrub, and they are strawberry, but they had special packaging. I think that these are pretty much a standard to their line, but they have the fun stars on the top, and then they have the cute outer packaging. And then we have a Soul Body Shimmering Dry Oil as well, and that is a pretty like peachy, icy white color. And then there are 3 lips. So these are the blotted lips, so the ultra blotted lips. Again, cute packaging on these. They have like this fun star and heart top, and we have 4 nude colors in those. So that's a look at the entire collection. I do want to run through swatches. We'll do those pretty quickly so you guys can see the swatches, and then we'll get into trying out the collection. Up for swatches, we've got the ultra blotted lip. I really like all of these like nude colors here. So this first one is called Made You Look. This second one is the shade Double Down. Then we have Jet Setter, and for the very last one, that one is called Running Late. All right, and we've got the highlighter and blushes up next. So here are a look at all 4 of the blush shades right here, and then here all of the highlighters. They look really pigmented when it comes to the highlights. This shade right here is called Dancing Queen. Then we have the second one right here, which is called Wish Me Luck. We have Morning Vibes, and then the last one there is Cosmopolitan. And then for the other ones, we have Vanilla Bean, Gold Mine, Spotlight, and then the last one there is the shade Moon Dust. Okay, and then for eyeshadow palettes, first we have the Weekend Mood right here. Here are swatches of all of those shades. They all swatched really nicely. Okay, and then we have all of the swatches from the Feels palette. Again, they all swatched really nicely. I really love this shade right here. It looks so pretty. And then last for the eyeshadow palettes, we have the Daydreaming palette, and this one again also swatched really beautifully. I don't notice any chalky shades or anything like that in all 3 of the palettes. They all look really beautiful. I can't wait to try them all out on the eyes. I think I'm going to kind of mix and match from each of them so I can just kind of try out some of the shades, but let's get into testing them all out right now. That I think I just kind of want to mix and match. So I'm first going to go into the Feels palette. Now this is the one I'm gravitating most towards, but I do want to try out some of the shades from each one of the palettes. So I'm going to go into this shade right here called Mossy. This one is a really pretty army green shade, and I'm actually just going to start by packing this on the lid. Typically I like to blend, but I think for this shade I'm just going to start packing it and then work my way into the lid with it. Color is really nice. I am going to go into the Daydreaming palette next. I'm going to take this shade right down here called Good Days. This one is more of like that burgundy type of shade, and I'm going to just place this, I think, right on top of the last shade, but mostly focusing it on the outer portion of the eye just to kind of deepen that up a little bit. That definitely deepened it, but since it had a little bit of the purple, I do want to add some of this brown from the Weekend palette and add that in. So this one is called Coast Up, and just to further deepen that up, we're just going to pop that right on there as well. We're looking nice and smoky. Now I'm going to start to drag that on in the inner corner a smidge more. I still want to keep this really smoky out here, but I am just going to start to drag it in just a little bit in here. With a clean brush, I'm going to go into That's a Vibe. Again, this is the Daydreaming palette, and I'm just going to bring that on the lash line up here, or not the lash line, but the brow bone almost, just to kind of blend out some of those harsh edges there. All right, now let's do some shimmers. I want to use all of the shimmers, but I'm kind of thinking, it's so hard because I want to use so many of them, but I do want to use this green, but I think I'm going to steer away from the green. Let's use this one in the Day Weekend palette. Let's use the Dream Vacay shade right here because I remember this looked so good in the swatch. So I'm just going to pick this up on a firm shader from Sigma and pack that onto the lid. Yep, that was the right decision. The shade is beautiful. So I'm really just focusing that on the inner portion and then bringing it out a little bit. I am getting a little bit of fallout with this shade. I feel like it's because I don't typically use brushes, and when I use brushes, I feel like I always get a little bit of fallout, but I do think if I wetted my brush, that would have helped too, but that's okay. Look at how pretty that is. Such a pretty look with the purples. I really love how that looks on the lid. Now for the lower lash, I'm going to go into a few shades from, this is the Feels palette, so I'm just going to use the shade Mossy, that first one that we went in with. Just kind of bring that under the lash, and then I'm also going to go into a little bit of the Cozy Cabin shade and also bring that on the lower lash as well. I do feel like I need an inner corner as well. I'm going to go into this shade right here called Fresh Air. This is in the Feels palette. Just tap up my brush and add a little bit of that to the inner corner for a little bit of a pop. I think that's a nice contrast because that one's more of like a satin shade, so it's bringing not as much sparkle as the inner corner, so I feel like that kind of works really well. Busting out my little tool here to help with the fallout, and then I'm going to apply some mascara, and then we'll try out the cheek products. For mascara, I just used this one from Maybelline. I'm still in a kick with this. This is the Surreal Falsies. I've been using this nonstop. And for blush, we're going to use this shade called Wish Me Luck. I do have a little bit of blush on my face right now. I wish I had thought this through and not done that, but it's okay. We're going to add this right on top. I'm sure we'll still be able to see it. I'm just going to pop that onto my cheeks. Oh yeah, definitely there. Describe that more as a satin formula. That looks really pretty. And then I'm gonna apply, of course, more to the other side as well. I really do like the Colourpop blushes. I feel like they're not too overwhelming, so you can kind of build them up. I find that they're pretty long lasting. I definitely enjoy them, so I feel like I'm always happy to see them coming out with new ones in their collection. And then might as well add some glow. This is the Spotlight Highlight. This is the pinky one from the set, and I'm gonna add this right on top here. Yeah, that's blinding. Okay, tap it out a little bit here. I knew that one was gonna be pretty pigmented. You can tell it's definitely a more icier shade. Take my blush brush and just kind of tap over that a little. I can see what they mean when they said like a new pearly finish. I can just definitely see a little bit more reflectiveness in it. It does look really pretty. It does look really pretty on the skin. It is emphasizing some of my lines a little bit there, but I don't mind it. It definitely looks like a nice, pretty shade. I'm gonna add a little bit here to my nose as well. I'm just loving the way that all of this is coming together. I feel like it looks so nice together. And then let's add the lip. So for the lip, I'm actually going to go in with, of course, one of the more nude shades. This one is the shade Double Down. And I'm going to add this one. I have a little bit of gloss on, but I'll just add it on top. Again, this is the Blotted Lip formula. Okay, and here is after the lip. I really feel like that just tied everything together. Really loving this eye look. I feel like it has a lot of dimension to it. That shimmer in that palette was so beautiful. I really just like the way that this looks. My complexion looks really nice with the blush, the highlight, the lip. Everything just looks so cohesive, and I don't mind it at all. So let me zoom you out and we'll get into my final thoughts. So getting into my final thoughts, I really enjoyed my experience with this collection. I really liked the way that the eyeshadow palettes performed. They seem very true to Colourpop's formula or their typical formula. I really enjoyed the shimmer that I have on my lid in this palette here. I think all three of the palettes have a nice look to them. I all think that they have pretty color stories. Are they all super unique to Colourpop? Probably not, but are they pretty? Yes. Do I think you would enjoy them if you got them? Yes, I do. I think that they're nice color stories and they are a cute little collection here, a nice little trio. And for the cheek products, I do really like the blush that I tried out. Of course, there are lots of different blushes to choose from, but I think the one that I used was really pretty and I liked the way that it looked on the cheeks. And then the highlight I also thought was really pretty as well. It looks nice on the cheeks as well. So really like these, and I always enjoyed their formula of those. Like I said, they're nice and buildable. And for the new highlights, I wouldn't say I see a ton of difference. It definitely looks pretty on the cheeks, but I'm trying to like, I need to like compare it maybe to their other highlights to kind of see a difference, but it does look nice. I see, you know, a nice pearly look to the skin. It kind of almost reminds me of the Rare Beauty highlights in a way. Like kind of. Maybe I should do a comparison because I feel like it kind of is giving that vibe. So that is something I can do on my Instagram or my TikTok if you guys want to see it. And then the lip, I also love this formula, so really like this lip as well. So that's going to do it for this video on the new Colourpop collection. You guys have to let me know your thoughts down below. Were you planning on grabbing anything from this launch? I will have links, of course, to the full collection down in the description box if you want to check it out. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon with a brand new video. Bye, friends.